Hey guys, we are back. I went ahead and added another coat to my birch trees of white, tweaked my scarf and my hat. I brought the hat down and then I did my buttons. So I went ahead and did one of these. These are going to take a little bit of time, so I just wanted to show you kind of what we're looking at. And it's getting kind of birchy in here, so let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a flat. It's my 1/2 inch flat, and I'm going to put some black on there. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and line it. So let's just use a fine liner, and we're just going to get some paint on there, black paint, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line, just go down and line it. You run out of paint, just add some more paint to your brush and continue. Don't press down on your brush because you want to keep it a nice thin line. If you press down, this is what will happen. Press down, it makes it fat, excuse me. You want it nice and thin, okay? So just keep your brush loaded. So that's what we're doing at the moment, is finishing up these birch trees before we move on to the next step. Okay. Some of the things that you can use as a palette would be parchment paper, if you don't have any plates. Also go to a thrift store and you can purchase some plastic or glass cutting boards with a nice smooth surface, and you could use those to mix your paints on and then just wipe them off before they dry. And this is acrylic, so depending on the surface, if it's like glass, you could probably just peel it right off once it's dried. Don't get in a hurry with it. This is a part of it that it's going to take some time, and that's okay. If you have to step away from your painting, go get a drink, or just take a break while it dries, and do that. It's okay. No particular time. All right. Hope y'all can see this okay, even though my hand's kind of in the way. Who all is painting with me? And if you don't mind, put down what state you're painting from. Feel free to sprinkle the love with your friends. These videos are free and just to enjoy. Painting is very relaxing to me. I'm a very relaxed type person anyway, but I enjoy it. I think what I'll do with this guy, once I finish him up, we'll let him sit for a couple of days, and then I'll spray him with some polyurethane to seal him. And then put him in the bazaar that's coming up on Friday and Saturday right after Thanksgiving. So, all right, let's just keep going. Go ahead and outline them all, and then we'll add the bark features. I'm going to go ahead and turn this. What are you guys painting on? And are you going to keep it, or are you going to give it as a gift? There's a lot of people out there that love snowmen and they collect them. I have a good friend of mine that collects loons. So she's everything loon. And they're a pretty cool bird. They're not easy to draw. I've drawn a few. She has one of them on her wall in her cabin here in Alaska. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this line all the way down, and then I'm gonna fill it in with white. Okay. Once it's dry, of course. All right, here we go. These trees are not perfectly straight. That's normal. They are not. Once these are dried, I'll go ahead and dry them with the blow dryer so I can get started with painting in this white on this tree that we've just increased its width. And then we'll get started on the bark. I'm using a small round. There we go. See it over there. I don't know the size. All my numbers are like off of my paintbrushes because I use them so much. Okay. Let's move this around. Just touch this. This. Couple more to do. When you're doing lines, the best thing to do is not use your wrist. If you can just make sure that there's nothing behind you when you're doing this, and just use your whole body. Pull your arm. You can always rest on the canvas, but make sure you don't rest on the center of the canvas, otherwise you'll stretch it. You want to do it on the wood frame. That's what I tell my little students, try not to touch your canvas, because the oils that are on your fingers will get onto your canvas. And that's one of the many reasons I like to seal my artwork. It's easier to clean it when it gets dusty, because it does get dusty when it's hanging on a wall. I use Krylon Crystal Clear to seal, and I will post that in the comments, a picture of it. Locally, here in Alaska, you can purchase it for, I believe it's $5.99 at Fred's, Fred Meyer, the grocery store. Go to the art section, It's a small can. You don't need a big can unless you're doing a lot of artwork like I do that needs sealed. You can use it on pretty much any surface. I like using it on wood as well. I do porch leaners, and I'm going to be doing a few of those as well with snowmen on them. Almost done, guys, with the outline. You can always check out the events if you're local. Check out the events tab on this particular page up there at the top, and you can see what events we've got coming on next. We've had to reschedule a few, which actually haven't been technically rescheduled as far as the event page, but I did have to cancel a porch painting party, but we'll reschedule that. And I've got some folks that we're just going to do it one-on-one. Okay, we're coming to the end. I've had 2 cups of coffee today, so my hands aren't very steady. So I'm just going to rest it on the table. How many kids do we have that's doing this? Let me know in the comments. I know if you're painting right now, it's okay. It's hard to comment and paint at the same time, but that's all right. Show me your setup that you have. I posted a picture of my table before I got it all painted up. Okay, here we go. I'll clean my brush. Okay. Now, do you think that birch is going to pop? I think it will. Alrighty. Clean brush. Now, this should be dry. It is. So now I'm going to add a little bit more white to my palette. And I'm going to paint. Let's see, I think I'll use this little flat. All right. Isn't paint wonderful? Paint right over. If you feel like you've messed something up, just let it dry before you paint the next color to avoid mixing your paints. Okay. I'll add another coat real quick. All right. Gotta blow it. See if I can do another coat here. Really needs to dry all the way. It'll work. Okay, because we're going to add So you see what I did? I just made the tree base wider, and it's good to go. All right, now it's time to use our flat, and we're going to get in some black, both sides, and this is what we want. Okay, brush it, and what we're going to do is we're going to go from the edge in. Okay, so from the edge of my canvas on the outside, on this side here, I'm going to go here in. From this side of the tree, I'm going to go from the edge in. Okay, simple. And we don't need loads of paint on there. All right, so here we go. Okay, and we're going to alternate them. And then I'll show you how we do the lines. Simple enough. Looking birchy in here. Birch trees are fun to do. Something easy for the kids to do too. And they look so real. All right, now, what I'm going to do to get you started, so you can go ahead and just continue to do it, is you're going to get some paint right on the tip, and you're going to make your brush come to a nice flat point, and you're just going to go like this. Okay? Isn't that amazing? Just magic. It's magical. Looks like you've worked on it for years. Okay. This here is still wet, so I'm going to skip this tree altogether and move to the other trees. So here we go. I'm going to turn this puppy upside down. And let's go this way. Grab the edge and then lift up. And that's how you get the light bristles. Just a light little flecks. Okay. We'll go back over it in a moment with the lines. If you're intimidated by doing it directly on your painting, what you can do is practice on paper. Practice on something else. That's what I do. Want to see how something might look? I'll practice on something else. All right. A little bit more left to go. About ready to put the lines on. I'm going to do it with the same brush. Okay, pretty neat. All right, I have enough paint on here, so I'm going to do that. Pretty neat, huh? Grab a little bit more. I might have to add some on there. Pretty neat. Okay. Some more. All right, let's go ahead and do this one. All right, now let's do the lines. Almost done. Okay, right on the edge here, I just touched it with the corner of my brush, okay? Because I didn't want to go into the snowman. However, if I would have gone into the snowman, not a big deal. All right, time to wash that brush out. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Turn it around so you guys can see it. Pretty cool. Now, things are starting to take shape. See, I told you. I promised. All right. Now, next thing we're going to do is his nose. Let's do his nose. All right, get some brushes washed out. Starting to get a pile of them over here. Okay. Now his nose. We'll use a fine brush. This is a round detail. It says, I think it says 0. So now we're going to do his nose. What I like to do, like I said before, is draw. He is leaning, obviously, and that's because I'm painting sideways. I haven't mastered that yet. He's leaning in, so he might be leaning in towards a little bird. Okay, so we're gonna have to just add a little bird. So I'm wondering if I should do like a little fancy nose. What do y'all think? Should I do a fancy nose like that? Throw it on there like that. We'll see. We'll see. Now, let's go with this. I already got my orange. Okay. Now this orange is very see-through, so I'm gonna need a couple of coats, maybe 3. But since it is see-through, it also makes it to where it'll look like it's shaded. So let's see. All right. See how much well, I don't know. All right. What y'all think? I think it looks cute. So we'll work with that. Just paint them in. Okay, we'll use a little bit of some brown in there too, for some shading. So get it going. So you do your nose how you want to do your nose. You can do it just like mine, or you can do it something smaller. So we'll see. All right. Now I'm going to use dark chocolate, almost out of this. So we'll see if I'm going to use it. Let's see. Yep, I can use it. I'll use it from the lid. I'm gonna not wash my brush from the orange. I just have a little bit in the lid. Sometimes that's all you need. Okay. And I'm gonna just put it out here on the palette, mix it a little, and just give it a little bit of shading right in there. Okay. And right in here, we'll come in underneath that a little bit, and it'll mix in nicely. So what do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, now with this same brush, I'm going to just do some lines. You know how a carrot's got lines on it. You can be creative. Have fun with it. Okay. Very good. Just throw some shading up top too. All right. Now, let's wash that brush. Okay. I'm going to grab some black real quick. We'll let that dry. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the scarf. Okay, I'm going to use this same round brush. Just dip it in the black, and I'm going to go over these little tassels, just like on the edge. And what that does is it gives a little bit of shading. I'm just going to barely tap it and make my brush come to a point. Okay. And just wisp, just little wisps. Keep loading your brush. Okay. Alrighty. One more. I think we'll do it. Now, with our white, we're going to add some circles, same brush. Now, we'll add some lines. How's that? Okay. We'll just add some white lines to our scarf. And we can go over it later. We feel like we need to. Load up your brush. Okay. Now these lines aren't even touching the top and the bottom of the scarf around the neck. And that's perfectly okay. Okay. Now let's do the lines kind of at an angle. Okay. Excuse me. I had some coffee earlier and I tried to breathe it, and I don't recommend it. So I had a little bit of a coughing fit and it really hurt my throat. Anybody ever done that? Okay, now we'll let that dry. Now let's work on the eyes and the mouth. All right, I'm gonna use same brush, okay, same small detail. And we're gonna do some black, Lamp Black by Deco Art. You know what? That is not black. I cannot believe I did that. It's so dark, I put in the dark blue. Deep midnight blue. And that's what I put in my tassels. All right, black. Let's try this again. There we go, black. Now, his eyes. Let's see. He's looking this direction. So let's do this. Okay. How's that? Let's do his mouth. Let's do this down here. I think I've been wanting to do this, so I think I'm going to do that. We're going to leave that because this snowman is whistling. And I don't know anything about music, so here we go. We're going to draw some little music notes. Okay. I will outline them in white. So who knows what this guy's singing? Okay. But he is going to be singing along with a little bird. So we'll see. Pretty cool, huh? Can you see those little notes in there? All right. I've been painting a ton of snowmans lately. So, now we'll let that dry and let's see what we can do. Let's throw some, get an angled brush. I like these angled brushes. And we're going to throw some snow. I'm also going to use glitter glue in here, by the way. But we're going to throw some snow up on the rim of his hat, okay? So we can kind of see where his hat is at, the brim. We'll do that. Grab some snow up here where it kind of gathers. Okay. Some snow here in the corner, in the rim. Let's see, let's do some snow up here. So I'm just basically tapping the snow, okay? And your snow can look however you want it. Some more. All right. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to kind of flatten it in the paint. And we're going to do some little lines in the hat. Okay. To make it okay. I'm going to take it over here. All right. Let's wash that puppy out and let's grab a fine liner. Throw it in the white. And just give him some little highlights. Okay. Cute little hat. Get some highlights. You can do your highlights however you want. I'm going to throw some highlights in here. Kind of break up that blue. All right, now, time for some brown. We are going to use our chocolate in the lid and draw this guy some arms. Okay, I'm going to use a different round. It's more of a liner brush. And we've got to decide how we want our arms. See, plenty of paint on here. And let's start his arm here. So we're going to make this little mark. And let's go up. Okay. Might have to give this a couple of coats. It's okay. Do your snowman's arms however you want to get an idea on which way he's. I've got some paint, dried paint in here. I need to get it out. All right. Okay. Now let's check out the other arm. I'm thinking it's on this side, so let's go over, connect that. Okay, and then we're going to go up. else we want to do? We want to go this way, right in between the notes maybe. All right. Very good. Now, kind of go over that some more so we can get it kind of filled in. This is chocolate brown with deco art. All right. I use so much of this brown. You wouldn't think that you would use brown a lot, but I do. Okay. The arms are all different. Okay, got them in. Now let's let them dry. He's getting cute, isn't he? He's all birchied up, got a nice background going on. Now let's do some outlining. What do you think? Let's do some outlining. We're going to do it in black. Okay. What I thought about doing is using a black acrylic marker by Posca, but I think we will just not. So what we're going to do is I'm going to trim out a few things in black, and you can kind of see how that works. I'm going to use a very small brush, very, very fine detail brush. And I promise it's not the dark blue. All right, here we go. You'll start to see him pop. Pretty cool, huh? More black. And let's go around this side. My hand is not steady, guys. Sorry. All right. Pretty cool. He starts to pop when you outline him. Outline his scarf. I know I get quiet when I do detail work. Okay. Cute, huh? Starting to pop. Let's work on our detailing. The Posca pens do give you more control. The paint pens. Do some shading here. Okay. The brush is almost dry, so that's a good thing. Okay. All right. Did some shading on his arms. We've got yet to add a bird. We're going to throw some snow down here, I think, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Throw in some more notes as well. Wash the brush out. And I'm going to use a different fine, it's a longer brush. And I will use this to outline the carrot. Pretty neat. Now, finish up the scarf. I will probably do a time lapse of these videos as well. My grandkids think they're cool. It's like, Mimi, you paint fast. All right. Okay. Some more black. Always try to look on your canvas before you lay your hand in some paint. Been there, done that. It's one of the reasons I don't like to wear gloves, because you don't know that you have paint on your glove, and you touch something and the paint's all over wherever you touched. Okay. Yeah. Got a fat brush on that one. I'll have to clean that up. It's a problem. Sometimes we don't know when to stop. Okay. Clean up the scarf a little. Give it some dimension. Cute, huh? All right. Cannot wait to see what you guys are painting and what you're painting on. All right, now it's time to draw a bird. So here's how we're going to draw the bird. Okay. Good friend of mine showed me this. It's just like a Nike swoosh, excuse me, and then go back and it's a paisley. Okay? Simple. So that's what we're going to do. Now, find the brush to use. I think I'll stick with this. Find one. And we got some red going on here. And I'm going to add a little bit of black to this red. So I'm going to pull some apart to the side because I want this bird to be a little darker. So he'll stand out from the scarf. All right. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this works doing it sideways. Now, where should we have our bird? What do you think? Maybe, let's see, maybe we'll do this. Okay, we're going to paint that in. Super simple little bird. Okay, and look here, I just got paint on that. And a phone call. So I will have to go over that. I do not have a baby wipe with me, but that happens. So let me see if I can use a paper towel. I don't like using paper towels because sometimes paper towels, they come off on your canvas. So I just got clean water on my, and I'm thinking I'm going to be able to save it. All right, and that's because I acted very quickly. All right, all cleaned off. Good to go. Now, the bird. Pretty cute, huh? So now the little bird, he needs to be filled in a little bit more. Okay. So let's go back in here, grab some paint, and let's fill him in some more. And he's going to need a beak that shows that he's singing too. But we'll see. Okay. Cute little bird. Very nice. All right, now what's next? I want to do a little bit of shading with this snowman. So I want to do some of this blue and some of this white mixed together, mostly the white. And I just kind of want to pull some down. You can kind of see what's going on here. Okay. What do y'all think? So it's just the dark blue, like I used here, mixed with the white, but mostly white. And then it's just basically a dry brush. I'm kind of using what paint I've got in here. Okay. All right. Now let's move up to his face. And let's try to do that as well. Right around the outside space. And I'm thinking I'm going to do some rosy cheeks. What y'all think? All right. All right, brush time. Got to clean it. And let's do some rosy cheeks. Let's see here. I'm going to use this brush right here. And I'm going to use some of this blue, this red, mostly white. And get it to where I want it. And it's going to be basically, it's going to be like a dry brush. So I'm just going to get a lot of it out, and then see how we want our cheeks. We want them, there we go. He's right above the nose. There's this other side, and then right here. You see how this is just, you can barely see it, but it's a dry brush, and I can make it a little bigger. So let's go back in, just add to it. All right. There we go. Now what I could do is throw some red in there, maybe. Just barely where it kind of just swirls in. Barely a little bit on my brush. All right, clean the brush. And I'm going to go with a little bit more bright red to highlight my bird a little bit. Okay, wash that brush out. And let's go with a beak. His beak is going to be with this brush right here. And he can be black. Blackbird beak. First I'm going to give him a little eye. Okay. And now for the beak. These details, the details are what's really fun. All right. So let's just go out with the beak. Okay. And let's have an open beak. Okay. This guy is singing. let's do a little heart for his wing. Okay, there's his wing. Now let's throw some white highlights in there. Same brush, clean, grab some white. And let's just throw some highlights in him. Okay. We're also going to highlight branches. Okay. A little bit of detail, pretty neat. So just have fun with it. However you want to highlight, it's up to you. Okay. Neat, neat, neat. All right, now let's do a little bit more white. And let me see. We're going to put a little bit of snow on his nose. Okay. And we'll put it right up here too, because it's going to kind of accumulate in certain spots. Okay, now let's add some snow to the areas that will accumulate on the branches. Just tap your brush around. I use a fine brush. We got some snow accumulating like right here. Got some snow here on this branch. All right. And we got some snow here. And some right in here. Anywhere else? Let's see. What about right here? Now if you want, you can go back over that snow and whiten it up so it's a contrast. Just keep adding to it as it dries. That's cute. Okay, we're not going to add any kind of highlights to his scarf. Everything looks pretty good. Little bird, he's adorable. It's going to add a little highlight there to his wing. All right, and his tail. So what do you think? I think we need some more musical notes, don't you? All right, let's make sure we get all our brushes clean. And remember, I'm going to take care of my sides later. And now I'm going to show you some fun way to do snow. Okay. I'm going to use flat brush, 1 inch, and more white paint. Okay. And I have this blue here, so I'm going to take some of that blue. I'm going to take some of this white. Okay. And I'm going to start doing this down here. And it doesn't matter how you do it. It's going to cover some of these trees down here. Okay, and that's all right. All right, grab you some more of the blue, grab you some more of the white. Just going around. I'm out of screen, I apologize. Okay. Just touching it, blobbing it, mixed. And more paint, blobbing it. Okay, snowman here, he can be kind of flat on the bottom because he's sitting in the snow. Okay, now I'm going to add some more white. And just blob it on there. Don't be afraid. And remember, I'll take care of the bottom later, the sides, I mean. Okay. What do you think? We just still gotta add some more notes. So I really like the way he's singing to that little bird, or with the little bird. As it dries, you can just keep layering it. And you can see the shadows in there. Let's go ahead and get this side since I'm on it. Okay, I think this is cute, guys. I can't wait to see yours. We've got 2 more steps to do. We're going to add notes, and then we're going to add some snow falling in the background. Okay? So, it's okay if you got blobby paint. It'll dry, and it can even give you some texture to feel. So, and your snowman can even be all blobbed up too, if you choose. So, there we go. What do you think? Pretty cute, huh? All right, now let's add some more to these guys, and then we will also throw some white highlights in those notes. I like using gold paint as well. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to use some gold paint today. I don't have any 24 karat gold, which is my favorite, but I do have glorious gold. And I'm going to use a dry brush, and I'm going to dry brush some in his hat. I'm going to dry brush some on his nose and some on his scarf, okay? And probably even throw some in his bird and his arms. So let's get started with that. On these metallic paints, make sure that you shake them up really good because they do have oil in them and they will separate, and you don't want that. So I'm going to use I'm going to use this brush. It's a little 1/4 inch flat, and we're going to put it in the gold paint, and then I want to, you know, get a lot of it off, and then I'll kind of show you what it'll do. And it will be really cool in the light. The light hits it just right. Helps it give some dimension to it and makes it not so flat. When the light hits it, it's going to look adorable. I'll also put it in the little flecks in this as well. calm that down. Brighten it up a little. Okay, now let's go to his nose. All right. Very nice. Let's go to the little bird. Some into his arms. Get them all golded up. I love using gold. All right. Now let's add some notes. Okay, I'm going to use this guy right here. And let's do some black. And let's do okay. All right, let's clean that off. You don't want to add too many. Let's do a little bit of white for our, that's a lot. Okay. What do you think? I think it's cute. Okay. Now, you could even add some greenery in his hat with some holly berries. You could hang an ornament from his hands. You don't have to put a bird on there. You can put a Christmas tree in the background. You can do all kinds of cool things. But there you go. And I hope you all enjoyed this. I know I certainly did. So I will get these time-lapsed so you can have that as well. And I will get those uploaded to my YouTube at Mary Miller Art. All right, talk to you soon.